welcome to Thermomixing Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan and I am so excited to show you this recipe today. It is the most decadent recipe and I'm going to today make a smaller version of it. So come with me as I teach you how to do that, but I've also got some really cool tips to show you around lining trays and things like that. So come along as I teach you how to do this. This is called the Basque Cheesecake. It's from the US. You'll see it's in ounces and Fahrenheit, no big deal. We can do that. So preheat your oven to 200 degrees to start off with. Lightly grease a springform pan with unsalted butter and line the sides with parchment, ensuring that it extends 4 inches beyond the top of the pan. So this cheesecake will rise up into that space, okay? And then it will slightly dip. You need the capacity up the sides. However, couple of tips. If you are making this as its full size, make sure your springform does not leak. So when I've made this in the past, I've had to sit it on an additional tray because my springforms leak. Okay, so just tips from one who's done it before. Now I'm using the little mini Kmart springforms today. So I'm going to do mine a little different. So the first thing it says to do is actually spray it and then line it and make sure it goes up the side. So I should say rub with butter. I'm cheating, I'm spraying, okay? So I'm just going to spray that. But before I spray the second one, and I'm hoping to fill 2 of them, I think it will. It's a beautiful recipe. If you've not tried this yet, everybody's got to make it at least once. Once you've made it once, you'll probably make it a second time for somebody's birthday. It's one of those things you'll never go buy something from like a cheesecake shop again. Now, how do we line something like this? Because it's hard. If I put baking paper into one of these, it really doesn't stay nicely. So I've got a tip. My tip is we grab something that is about the same size. Okay, so we want something that's a similar size. I'm going to invert it, except I think it's got a bit of liquid in it, so there we go. Upside down, and we're going to put this over the base, and we're going to rub our hands down the side quite firmly. Now it is better if you've got something that's got a square bottom, like a glass drinking glass. But you know what? This is what I had, so work with what you got. Now I've done this beautiful firm push down, so now as I take it off and I sit it in, it actually stays. Check that out. How cool's that? If I try and I might put that one into the oiled one, shall I? If I try, as I made mention, and just shove it in, you're not going to get a nice finish. It's going to keep popping out like that, okay? So on top, and as I said, if you've got something that's got more square edges, it works a bit better, but work with what you've got. If you don't, find something that you can use, a jar, anything that can work for you. So just push it all the way down, and then I need to spray this one. I'm just wondering if I have to also spray the insides of this. Line the sides. No, I don't think I do. Fantastic. So there we go. I've now lined my 2 little things. Now, I don't know that you could use that method with the big one. I don't think you'd have a container big enough. Maybe you could try actually, I've got an idea. You can actually try, if you've got large enough baking paper, and actually put it over the base first so that it's big and it's shaped down before you then try and put it inside. That would be my tip there. But I've not tried it. You'll have to try it. Next. Okay, so place the prepared springform onto a baking sheet and set aside. It's important because if it leaks, you want it to be on something. First things first is cream cheese. Now it says 32 ounces, so I want to make a 1/6 of it. Okay, because it's got 6 eggs. I just want to use 1 egg. So I'm going to put 5.5 ounces in of cream cheese, which I think is about 160 grams, 170 grams. Probably should cut that up smaller. However, I didn't. Okay. So it's just how it goes. It does mean I may need to scrape it down. That's okay. All right. Just scrape that into there. 4.5 ounces. Oh, I really don't want to cut off more, but anyway, let's see if I can scoot some more out of here. That'll do. 5 ounces will do me. That's close enough. All right, so next, some sugar to taste. So about 10 to 12 ounces, so about 2 ounces of sugar at the most. So we might go closer to the 1. There we go. A little bit more. Finished off. 1.3, perfect. Okay, on with the lid, and we're going to whip this together. 30 seconds, speed 5. Now I have less a portion in there. There's a good chance I won't need the full time. I will use my ears and decide when I can stop. actually haven't got a spatula to scrape it down as I planned on it. That's what I was looking around for. We'll just roll without for the moment. Okay, clicking on next. Scrape down the sides with the spatula. Later on, insert the measuring cup, and they want you to re-whip it again. I'm going to skip that step because I don't have a spatula. Thought I brought one in, clearly not. Okay, next is 6 large eggs. We're using 1 because we're making a 6th. So crack it on here. This is your egg cracking handle, and then in it goes. Oh no, the piece of shell went flying. Where did that go? That way. Wasn't because I dropped it in, it's because it flicked off the back of my finger. Did I get it? Or is it still hiding in there? Sorry guys, keeping it real on, because I do not want that. Oh no, there it is. Do not want that in our food. Nothing worse than having something beautiful and silky smooth and biting into an eggshell. Yeah? Okay. Heavy whipping cream, 16 ounces. Oh gosh. All right, so my maths. It's less than 3. Okay, it's about 2.5. We're going for about 2.5. Let's see how much I've got. Okay, 2.9 because I over poured. That'll have to do. All-purpose flour, 2 ounces. Oh golly gosh, my brain is hurting already. All right, it's going to be less than ½ an ounce. So we're not talking about much here at all. So let's go for about 0.3, 0.4, somewhere there. And I'm using gluten-free, as you might have noticed. You can use whatever you use. Oh, a little heavy, never mind. Not going to go scooping it out. And some vanilla to give it some flavour. And it doesn't actually ask for much, just 1 teaspoon. So I can't imagine that we need much flavouring in it because we are making such a small batch. I would suggest first time make a big batch. It's beautiful, okay? It is amazing, decadent. Like, as I said, it's something that you'd order at when you go out to coffee or a cafe with friends, and you'd order it because you never usually have made it at home. You'd never consider to. This is what it's like, okay? It's amazing. Okay, some salt, tiniest pinch, and on with the lid, and we are just about done. So, what do I do with the measuring cup? 30 seconds, speed 5. We won't need 30 seconds. Alright, so now it asks us to scrape down the sides, and I did stop that early again. I'm only making a 6, so I don't need as much. I don't need as much mixing, okay? Insert the measuring cup, and now it's got a 1.5 minute blend. Now, I'm going to spin this up for the 1.5 minutes. It will probably only take about 45 seconds, and I will pause the camera, and I'll go dash and get the spatula, because I would like to include into my food that sugar, that flavouring that's all up the sides. So, let's spin it up. It is 1 minute and 30 seconds, no temperature, speed 5, and I will return in a moment to show you the next step. Okay, I'm going to stop it early as I made mention. I did actually off camera stop it, and I found the spatula and I scraped it down, which I needed to. Okay, there was a bit of cream cheese that hadn't mixed in because it had stuck to the sides from the first step, so that needed to be brought into the mixture to be poured in. So pour the batter into the prepared pan and place on a baking sheet in the oven. So this is literally done. Now I'm wondering whether I want to do 1 or 2 with this. As I said, I've never actually made just a double batch for us before. We've usually made the massive batch, but let's have a look and see how much it goes for. I am mindful that it does somewhat grow a little bit more than a little bit really. I might actually, oh, it's going to come close. You know what? I'm going to make 1 and hope it doesn't overflow. That's the plan. Let's see how we go with it, because it's actually going to fill this quite high to the top of this little ramekin. I've never made any ramekins either, so let's see how we go. If it makes a mess in my oven, I will report back in the comments and tell you what I think. So that's actually gone, if you want to have a look at that. That'll be yummy. Hubby and I can share that once the kiddies are in bed. But it's gone to just short of the level. I wonder if I can put it in here and show you. Just short of the level of the black sides. Okay, so the tin sides. And as I said, it's going to come up and down a bit. Bake for an hour at 200 degrees, allow to cool, and once it is cool, then you actually take it out of the spring form. So you do have to have a bit of preparation for this recipe, because Otherwise, it's a bit like a baked custard and it just doesn't hold its form, and it will be beautiful and dark on the top because of all the sugar in this recipe. It will caramelize beautifully at the 200 degrees, and the center will be just absolutely cheesecakey amazingness. So there'll be a photo come up soon. Actually, you saw one at the beginning anyway, but if you've not tried this and maybe you've been put off for the amount of cream cheese or cream or eggs, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of stuff to try it with, make a sixth, okay? This container might be too small for the sixth, but it's worth giving it a go. And even if you just do it once, because then you'll know whether you're gonna like it. And it certainly is a fantastic one for spoiling friends with if you're having people over. It's fantastic for gifting to people. It's fantastic for taking to somebody's house, picnics in the park, you know, things that you just want to make a little bit special. Okay, so otherwise, thanks for joining in with me today. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've taken away some hints and tips. I hope you like the special one about lining your circular tins. I hope you'll remember that one for next time when you need it. But if I can help in any way, do reach out. I love to support you to get the very most out of your Thermomix. And if you're in Australia, I'd love to help you get a TM6 on your bench. So do reach out so that I can help you and then help you get the most out of it. But otherwise, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.